Long ago, the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the World Tree and left it to drift, unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries, the world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial age passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard to send Valkyries scour the battlefields of his greatest warriors. Dead to the world, they would soon be reborn in Valheim. Welcome to the party, pal. I'm Commander Tom, and this is episode 1 of Valheim. Take a look around, and you can already see why I'd be so interested in a game like this. Let's check out this Raven guy. Okay, Hugin. Welcome to the 10th World, Warrior. I am Hugin, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken. Okay, so this is basically the trophy ring that, as we start killing the bosses, I don't know, we bring their heads and such. The stone is vacant. The magic stones are scattered throughout the land as a signpost pointing towards the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. Summoning place of, I like the first prey. A lot of these names I can already tell are going to be Viking in origin, and I'm not a Viking. So my pronunciation is going to be absolutely horrible. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for that. Obviously, with the survival building game that this immediately caught my attention, so that is why I've quickly gotten this sped up. I've played maybe an hour or two of this game, so I'm not that far ahead of any of you. In fact, many of you are probably ahead of me. So as we're going through this, if you want to drop some tips and tricks, I'll be happy to explore them as well. I'm going to go through the initial grind. We all know how these survival games go. I'm going to need to punch trees, or I'm going to need to build an axe. I need to pick up 5 wood and 5 stone to make an axe to chop trees, which is a nice realistic change. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll do the grind, you skip the time, and we'll get into building our first shelter here on Valheim. Alright, if my math holds true, this should be enough. Yes! Alright, go ahead and build up a stone axe, which I'm sure is absolutely lousy by game standards, but we all gotta start someplace. Alright, and let's go ahead and test how this baby works. Already, I like the graphics. This is not bad. Nicely. Okay. Skill improve factor involved with the game. I can work with that easy enough. Okay, so now that I actually have the first major tool, I think I'm going to do a little bit of exploring while I'm gathering wood and stone to figure out where we're going to put our first base. Ooh, deer. Tasty, tasty venison. Let's see if we can get ourselves some food for the fire tonight. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Come on. Be wary, wary, quiet. I'm hunting venison. And whack him on the head. There we are. It's not whack-a-mole. It's whack-a-deer. Alright, let's go see if we can find a good area for base camp. Alright, pick up another tree of lumber here, and I'll show you what we've discovered here. One thing I like is that this world, unless you actually take the full seed, is going to be different for me than you. I like the procedural generation type world. Somehow, and this is one of those rare occasions of I'm blown away, the devs have developed a lot of beauty and a lot of great concept into a game with coding that is not a mile long. This is a awesome game and a tight package, and this is looking like a pretty good location for a shelter right here. I got decent field of view. I've got wood, I've got stone. I think I could definitely do something here. Uh-oh. Boring. Let's see if we can survive here. There we are. Put a little meat on the fire for later tonight. I'm surprised nothing's attacking me. I'm not necessarily complaining, but I'm surprised someone's not. Okay, come on. There we are. Alright, let me continue on. Let me go ahead and get some basic things built up here, and we will slowly start moving in to our first shelter. Now, what's this rune say? Hold, traveler, and bear witness to my warning. We are many who have come before you, carried here by Odin, who will do his work. The path ahead is hard, the dangers are great. Hold your life dear. These metals will make your dwelling place. Okay. That's the game trying to tell you, yeah, seriously, make a base here. Although, I do appreciate kind of the runes left behind, and the whole concept of this has been going on for a while, so people before you are trying to leave you tips. I think that's a cool way of doing it, where they could easily have just had that raven telling you everything. I think the runes add an awesome touch. This has memories of Ark to me a little bit, with like especially the first version with the island where there were the caches left behind. So, alright, building the hammer here, and I'm going to build just a couple of quick things here. I'll get back with you in a second as I actually start to build the shelter. You know, for the sake of education, it occurred to me that just what I'm doing here might not be something you all would be aware of yet, and that is that the workbench needs to be sheltered itself for it to have full building ability. So let me kind of go through what I've done. Literally, I've just dropped the bench down, and what I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't know if you necessarily need floors, but my psychology appreciates it if I put floors in. So the floors themselves may not necessarily be 100% needed. There we are. So, going to drop a bench down, drop 2 floors down. Middle click if you want to deconstruct something. I know that was something that was unique to me, but the like wheel click or third button click on your mouse, whichever feature it is for you. Oh, where's my... There we are. Drop the workbench onto the floor then. Okay. And then we're going to put some walls on the sides here. Now this thing wants to be particular. It wants walls on 3 sides. So you've got to hit both the right, the left, and it really does want it on the back side also. I'll go ahead and there we are. Yeah. Wheel to spin it. I do appreciate that factor. We'll drop the roof on here real quick, because it does have to have a roof for it to have its full abilities. And it always talks about the roof, and you'd think it'd be happy with the roof from there, but if you try to use it here, it'll tell you still too exposed. So you do need to then drop the 2 pieces of wall on the back side. Spin that around. If I can... Here, I'll just come around here too. More than one way to do that. One there. One there. You basically kind of need to make a work shed. You know, so that's build 1. Build a work shed if you want full functionality of your workbench. But from here then, what I like the most is you can start repairing your own gear, as well as building stuff like the hoe. And I do recommend building the hoe as soon as possible, so that way you can actually level the ground to actually build your foundation, your building on level ground. So again, let me do the grind, you skip the time, I'll get back with you in a bit. Good morning! I went ahead and just stopped at the night after I laid the foundation, did a little bit of hunting, a little bit of monster fighting, you know how it goes. But I wanted to wait for the light to be better so I could give you a better view of the foundation here. What I've done is basically a 3x4 foundation with the back row empty, so I can put my fire pit right there. I've already got the cook station on top of that. I moved my workbench up here so I'm well within the central range. And now we're going to go ahead and drop walls all around that 3x4 foundation. Yeah, we're going to go, pretty simple here. I am going to go ahead and start with building what essentially is the chimney, which I'm actually impressed you really need to do in this game, because you have to have your fire on ground. It will not let you place it on wood. That right there I find is really interesting. That's a lot different than like Ark and most other survival games I've played. But it's also a lot better than the Long Dark, which won't let you put a fire indoors, even if you were to like vent it. So this game has done a lot with smoke concept and smoke management. So I'm actually impressed with that. And once you've got the chimney kind of walled off just a little bit, and we are going to put a backwood door on that, but we'll deal with that later. First, I just want to go ahead and get the walls built around the shelter to more define to you what this is going to be. Now, I have sort of stages in mind for this shelter, or something I really like. We're going to build stage 1 today, but there's a few pieces that might make you think, why is he doing that? It's because this is going to be a multi-stage building. Alright, and we'll put the back wall in. There we are. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and just use full walls like this size to put that up on the back, like so. Which means, yes, the corners will stick above the slanted thatch roof, and I don't care. I know some people that will throw off the aesthetics. Again, those corner pieces are part of what I was referring to with this is going to be a multi-stage build. I've thought ahead a little bit. I try to do that. And we'll go ahead and get the roofs on. The roofs are actually vitally important because I've tested. I've used floor as a ceiling. It doesn't count. You still get rained on. You have to use something coated as a ceiling piece. Now, I haven't developed to the point of using stone, but on the wood tier, you've got to use this thatch ceiling if you want it comforted. Sometimes that raven drives me crazy. Alright, and we're going to need to put a little bit of ceiling in here. I'm going to put a temporary ceiling piece right here over the fire, but we are going to get rid of that shortly. But I just wanted easy build. Okay, need to grab some wood. Back in a... Alright, gonna go ahead then and drop in that final bits of ceiling here. Okay, we now have a full shelter, and while I'm here, I'm gonna put up a safety bar, sort of a mantelpiece over the fire, and I do mean safety bar because you can walk onto your fire, and that will burn you. But if you put in a little safety bar like that, that will keep you from doing it. One piece of wood keeps you from burning yourself. And as you can tell, we are definitely smoking out the joint. So what we need to do is, again, remove that piece of wood, ceiling over it to vent upwards. And if you're curious again about how to disassemble, that is going to be clicking the wheel or your third button on the mouse. And I'm going to see, can I get up there? Can I get a click on it? It doesn't seem like it. There we are. Snap, snap. Come on, snap. Oh wow, building piece doesn't want to snap. This feels really familiar. Alright, we'll get it from the inside here. But yeah, what you want to have is a fire We will put that back later. And then you want to have an open space above it for smoke. At least one. And then I usually wind up giving it two when you factor I have one piece that is clearly chimney, and then there is going to be the vented roof piece above it. Flip this around. Excellent. And then the third piece. There we are. And you can tell that we already have the smoke going upwards. Go ahead and put my safety bar back in. Yes, that one piece of wood keeps you from burning yourself, so I always recommend it. Okay, now we've got the ceilings up. We're going to go ahead and drop in a bed right about here. I'm purposely leaving corner back here for storage. You see I've got one chest already. I want to keep that as sort of chest storage. Alright, we're going to soon close this up. I was leaving it open so you guys had a better view. A headrest for the weary. No duh. I wonder if that's why they call it a bed. But this does act as your respawn point. Kind of like Minecraft rules, so you don't have to show up at world spawn. You just have to have that. And I'm trying to create my respawn box, but gotta go on another wood run. Back from the wood run. And I think we're going to go ahead and finish off the chimney. There's one more important part that we need to keep in mind. I mean, 9 days out of 10, this will take care of the situation. But there actually is weather, there actually is rain, and that will actually pour out your fire and put it out. So, what you want to do, temporarily give yourself a little ladder so you can get up to your roof. And then I'm going to go ahead and use just a couple of vertical posts to raise it up a little bit, because it does need to have some open air on the sides. See if I can get that to match up even with the cross beam on top. We'll balance the equation over here. Alright, and then we'll get one more piece of roof on top of there. That way, directly overhead, the fire is covered. But you do have a chimney, and it does have vents to the sides and stuff. That system will actually let your fire keep going regardless. You have an indoor fire, and that's actually needed for your bed to be active. You have to have a fire near your bed to be active. If you don't want your fire to have problems, then you've got to have all of that set up. And as you can tell, it's all venting well. We're not filled with smoke. So we are 90% done with my full shelter here. In fact, we are so done that I'm going to go ahead and start putting the actual door and the entryway walls in here because, you know, I tried to keep it open for your viewing pleasure, but night's coming and I'd like to not die. So we're going to go ahead and drop in the last bits of wall here. There we are. I am going to try and design just a little bit of a window so I can see what the weather's like without having to open the door. Yes, I am going to put these bits of wall bits like this. I'll have corners sticking up. That will be fine, especially when I put version 2 of this building together. But that'll wait a day or so. Going to take a vertical piece. I'm trying to just get it to click onto the right area. I think I'm going to need the short piece here. That looks a lot better. Get that click in there. Alright, and I know I want to get a horizontal crossbeam. Can I do it there? And it's not clicking like I want. Let's go with the short. That's working a lot better, I think. I'd kind of like to get a little bit upwards. I don't mind it there, I'm just concerned, can I walk under that? I don't want to be glitching through my walk. Darn bird. Alright, test this. Can I actually go through my door? I can! Alright, I call that a win. I call that a win, and I'm happy. And when I get the hoe ability, I will probably even out the ground a little bit, but I don't mind that. Okay. Alright. I call that a successful day. Okay, so let's see if now I can go ahead and put in my respawn box. Yes, am I low on wood? Rallies the creature of the forest. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have company. Man, I really wasn't worried about a housewarming gift, you know? But drop off a little bit of stuff here. See if I can just get this finished off here real quick. Okay. Alright. Well, if they're coming, let's see if I can stock up some meat and we'll spend the night, you know, cooking it up. See what we can do here. Boring. There we are. Come on. Oh, hang on. This is a little bit more oomph than I had expected. Yeah, they're working together. They're using teamwork. And they got... Well, if you like how I died, leave a like and subscribe. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and run back to base then. Because I hadn't slept in that bed, I showed up here. Okay, got my gear back, got back to base. You know, we are all good then. So I'm going to go ahead, hop in here. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. Spawn point set. There we are. I should have done that earlier, but we live and learn. Respawn box set. Excellent. In that back corner, that's going to be extra storage. I'm just going to fill that the entirety way through with materials. Give me just a second, kind of get squared away here. Okay, and as you would so many nights in this, I'm going to go ahead and cook my meat by the fire and enjoy it. Thanks for sticking with me on the premiere of Valheim. If you want to see more footage like this, that's what links are for. If you want to know if I live to see tomorrow, leave a like and subscribe. I'm Commander Tom, and I will see you next time. Thanks.